Hi, I'm Jannette Pace. I'm the Director of Senior Services for CityServe of the Tri-Valley.
Tell me a little bit about the history about CityServe.
Okay. People from local churches would get together and talk about the needs within their church, and then they'd pool resources and serve people in the community together, help, just branching out and helping each other meet each other's needs. That's really the root of where we come from, serving people with a heart full of care and love. And that has expanded. It became so successful that the cities approached the organization and asked them to take on some case management. That became successful. So Senior Support Program approached CityServe and asked them to take over their programs as well. Mm-hmm. So the organization has grown quite a bit over the last several years.
And especially for the volunteer side, because there aren't enough service providers, and we need to tap into the community benefits to serve our elders in this area. And I think that people do not believe me when I say, oh, Medi-Cal's not going to cover that. They're almost like, what? What do you mean that there's no safety net for my elders? Mm-hmm. They are shocked. Yeah. They are literally shocked. So I'll give you a little quick stat about Alameda County seniors. So nearly half of senior renters in Alameda County, 47.6, spend more than 30% of their income on housing, on a fixed income, spending their money on housing. And 30% of them spend over half of their income just to keep a roof over their head. Out of all of the services that CityServe provides, what is the number one request?
Help, assistance with finances and housing. Those are the two, and food. Those are the three top requests that we get.
Yeah. And I don't think that, a lot of folks really understand that we have a lot of house-rich, cash-poor seniors, and you get an increase in your property taxes, your water going up, your PG&E going up. That, and you're on a fixed income, you're in your 80s. It's not like you can go get a job. Right. That is not happening. I just got this today. First of all, I was able to scrounge up enough money for my own father to move into a little, trailer in a 55 and up community. Mm-hmm. And the rent has historically been about $1,100. And I just got this dated, what is this, 9/19/25. Please take note, your rent will be increased to $1,675 effective January 2026.
Oh, no.
So, thank God he has a daughter that can take care of supplementing his lifestyle. Yeah. But I already pay for the PG&E. Mm-hmm. So now I'm going to have to come up with a couple $100 extra to supplement him continuing to stay there. And folks don't realize how hard it is to create stability for our elders in this county. They literally do not. And if they are solo agers and they have no children, no family, who do they call? They call CityServe.
They do. Yep. These are our friends' parents. These are our aunts and uncles. Yep. Some of these are our grandparents or our parents. Yeah. These are our next door neighbors. These are the people that laid our roads, that built our businesses around here, that ran our restaurants. Yep. They would like to stay in the community where they raised their children, where they've lived for years and years. Many of them are on fixed incomes. And as we all know, we're experiencing the same thing. The price of groceries go up, 100%. The price of utilities go up. What are they going to do? Yeah. Many of them have retracted a little bit from society. They're becoming a little more isolated. They're not as mobile as they used to be. Maybe they've lost their driver's license, or they don't feel comfortable driving at night. Yeah. So going out and getting a job isn't really a viable option for them. So what do they do? Yeah. Luckily, CityServe is there, and we can connect them to over 300 different resources in the area through government programs, nonprofits, volunteer groups, other organizations that are out there. We can connect them and make sure we walk along the path with them and support them till they find stability.
Which is so important to even help seniors kind of navigating, getting access. They're not going to jump online and let me fill out a DocuSign and who do I call? That just the navigation piece is such a major hurdle for most adult let alone a senior that's, not familiar with all of these setups. And now the cookies is on my computer and I don't know who do I call? What do I do?
Two-factor authentication.
Forget it. Yeah.
I have a hard enough time with that.
Yes. So tell me a success story of how CityServe has come in and stabilized a situation for a senior.
Okay. Well, we have so many.
Yeah.
One woman that I'm thinking of in particular owns her own trailer home. Mm-hmm. She inherited it from her father, thankfully, because she was a single mom. Mm-hmm. She couldn't have afforded to purchase her own home. So as she aged, got into her 60s, 70s, she inherited this trailer home from her dad. Over time, the furnace broke, the AC broke, the roof started leaking, lots of other problems. We were able to connect her to Spectrum, LIHEAP. We were able to connect her to Habitat for Humanity to do some winterization. She was able to replace the furnace, get the inside of the home painted, replace the windows, get her air conditioning fixed, make it a very comfortable place for her to live. At the same time, we connected her to Medi-Cal. We were able to connect her to local doctors. Mm-hmm. Medi-Cal canceled her being able to go to her local doctor and wanted her to go to a doctor in San Leandro. And she said, I can't drive on the freeway anymore. Yeah. We were able to help her write an appeal letter. Okay. And she was able to keep her local doctor.
Wow.
So we walk alongside people as they need help getting connected to these services. Many of them are able to take it from there. Yep. Not everybody is. So we're there for them in case they need that, kind person next to them as they're making these changes in their lives.
God, so difficult to even get that or even know where to go for those resources. Some of the other things that CityServe does is you have the podiatrist that comes to the community, to your guys' community. Tell me a little bit about that, because there was a gap in services when Kaiser and a lot of the things changes with what they were going to provide. And if your feet aren't right, you're not going to be able to walk around and stay ambulatory and be independent. You're going to fall, maybe some issues with, diabetes. So tell me a little bit about the foot program.
I actually had a Kaiser patient call me just before I came in here and say, I cannot get into a podiatrist in Kaiser. Can I come to you? And I said, sure. Yeah. What time do you want to come? Yeah. Let's have you in. Yeah. We're really grateful. We've partnered with some doctors from John Muir. Mm-hmm. They come into our office every 9 weeks. That's as often as it's covered by Medicare. Yeah. And they come in and take care of people. Yeah. They help them understand what's going on with their feet and how to care for their feet. They're able to prescribe medicine. Nice. And so we're able to connect people to that service that maybe is gatekept by their health insurance organization.
Yes. And I know that is so another difficult one. Staying ambulatory. And then with the Finding Wellness program, that is, don't you guys do some cooking? Tell me a little bit about that and how.
We sure do. And we've rebranded it.
Oh, okay. It's
all new now. Okay. Live Well, Be Well.
Love it.
It's a lot more modern with a focus on health and wellness. It's actually part of our substance use disorder prevention program. So this is all preventative services. And we know as people age, like I mentioned, they become a little more isolated. With that isolation can come depression, maybe turning to substance use, perhaps losing their community and the people that used to surround them. So the goal of all of our Live Well, Be Well events are to reconnect people with the community, to give them an uplifting social experience, to teach them health and wellness. Many of our parents and grandparents were not raised with this concept of wellness, of taking care of themselves. So we have a 21-week series of classes that we can present to them on topics such as, nutrition, aging, social determinants of health, everything that comes along with getting older, body systems, disease prevention, things like that. In addition, we do monthly social events in our office. So we do cooking demonstrations. Nice. Our focus is to bring food in from the grocery store that they could buy on their CalFresh benefit and show them different unique ways to put the food together that's really simple, very cost effective, and very healthy. We want to focus on fresh whole foods. Yep. And then as we teach them about it, we teach them about the benefits of each nutrient that's in each food. We had a registered dietitian lead our last Fresh Bites, which was really exciting. Alternatively, we have other social events in the office. We have luncheons put on by the Assistants League, We have a wonderful Hispanic heritage event that we had this month with a performance with music and dancing.
Oh, I love it.
We do a Lunar New Year event. So we have also these more artistically inspired social events for people to come enjoy.
Yeah. And didn't I see there was a book launch for, what was that about?
A local author came in and read her children's book. And the book is about growing up in Kenya.
Okay.
So she brought in some drums, she brought in some clothing, she brought in some, traditional items for people to take a look at and enjoy. Yeah. And it was a lot of fun. We sang together and she taught us some songs and let us all drum.
Yeah, that is fabulous. And, I think families folks don't realize, you read about the blue zones and here's where people are living the longest and everything like that. And the one common denominator in the blue zones that people are living the longest and thriving is a sense of community, be it a church or a nonprofit or whatever. But you have to have that social connection. So even just having a purpose of somewhere to go once a month, something that I'm looking forward to, will definitely keep you living longer. I just had my 25th high school reunion and all my girlfriends were like, nah, I don't talk to those people. I don't want to go and this and that. And I was like, do you guys realize in the next 20 years, 15 years, like us maintaining these connections is so valuable. So what do I need to do to remove the barriers of you saying no and get your butts out here and let's party. Let's reconnect with our people. So I got an Airbnb and we had a blast. And we laughed until we cried. I was like, you guys don't know how important this is. I see elders and it will just like break my heart where the only person they speak to every day is the mailman.
Or their Meals on Wheels delivery person.
Or their Meals on Wheels delivery person. And,
So the individual comes in, but what we found is month by month, they're starting to build that community within our office. So the people that come with them, that's their community, but they also get to know us as employees. So they know when something happens in their lives, there's someone they trust that they can go to that will guide them in the direction that they need to go.
Now, from those meetings, have you seen any relationships flourish or any?
Oh, absolutely. In one of our Finding Wellness classes, or now called Live Well, Be Well, 2 ladies were in the class. And as we were talking about financial stability in the class, one of the ladies mentioned that she was living in a large home alone now. Her husband had passed, her kids had moved out. She has a 4-bedroom home, didn't want to stay there alone, but couldn't afford to stay there any longer. And another lady in the class mentioned that she was renting a room, but the rent was going up and she needed to move out. And the 2 of them after class started talking, made a connection. Wow. And the lady that was the homeowner was able to rent a room out to another lady that she met at one of our classes.
See, it's going to be situations like that are going to keep people independent as long as possible and not in a social institution. And I'll tell you, when families call me all the time and they say, my mom has Medi-Cal, like where are these magical Medi-Cal beds that can take care of mom?
Right.
And I'm like, I hope you're a praying individual because that's about what you're going to have to start doing right now. Because there is no magical door that is going to get you one of these magical, Medi-Cal beds, or you're going to be looking in counties that you don't want to travel to. San Joaquin County, Sacramento, maybe there's a few in Contra Costa, Antioch, Pittsburgh, but the options are so limited. And when families think that, now I qualify for this benefit, this where we got to put this in place. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but you can't use the benefit often.
Yeah, you can't use the benefit or you're sitting at like a 2.5-year waiting list. So it is so important to either be conservative, be creative, or figure out like joining forces with someone, moving into an ADU in the back of your kids' house. I know some families that I've encountered where maybe they sold the mobile home and they're only going to walk away with $120,000. And maybe mom makes just enough money on her teacher's pension that she doesn't even qualify for Medi-Cal.
Right.
What do I do? Where do I go? And in those circumstances, I'm like, have you heard about Wellnest? And those are those little pods, those little ADU pods that you don't have to do a whole concrete pour. They're on like a trailer and they're ADA and you can just $60,000, pop them in your backyard. And they're solar and then you have to pump in the water with those big water tanks. Yeah. But what else are you going to do?
That's an amazing solution because so many people are caught in that middle. Oh, yeah. They don't qualify for Medi-Cal. They can't afford to go into a luxury senior community. And that's the question. Where do they go? What do they do? How do they live out their lives in a joyful way, in a way that they're enjoying themselves with family and friends around them, where they can be self-sustaining?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I know most folks, maybe they haven't even thought about long-term care insurance, or maybe even some of the long-term care insurance have gone under. I know CalPERS, they had stopped taking folks at some point, and there was a big old lawsuit and stuff like that. And that was the same time that I was dealing with CalPERS with my own grandfather. And that's when I first learned about HICAP. HICAP had to come advocate because these guys weren't even appealed. They're like, figure it out online. And I'm like, what?
Right.
I'm pretty savvy, and what are you talking about? There's no appeal paperwork. What do you mean you denied my grant? He's been paying $1,800 twice a year for this benefit for decades, and now he needs to use it. And I swear it was like the first, claim. They would just throw it. They were like, "Oh, we're going to throw that first claim out the window." And I was like, "What is a HICAP? Who are these magical people? How can they help me?" And as soon as they got a call from HICAP, things started moving.
So we have HICAP in our office twice a month. People can make appointments to come in and meet with them and get this advice.
And talk about what HICAP brings to the table as these counselors that have twice a week.
The counselors that come into our office are able to talk people through Medicare changes, which Medicare program to apply for. They can even help you if your income is just a little bit too high to qualify for Medi-Cal. They can talk you through different options that may help you lower your income so you can qualify for Medi-Cal, which brings a lot of other benefits with it.
Oh, yeah. And I often will see folks when they're like, okay, I'm going to apply for this or try to get on the assisted living waiver program waiting list. And sometimes the safety net is IHSS, in-home supportive services. But even with in-home supportive services, I think the max hours I've seen is like 200 or maybe 300 hours per month. So that's not including evenings or weekends, which is kind of wild. What are some of the other services that CityServe is kind of pointing folks into the direction to get pointed to, be it, Meals on Wheels or Rotary? Doesn't the Rotary kind of do things for folks to kind of fix their house up?
They do. Rotary is an amazing volunteer group. We partnered with Rotary recently to help one of our seniors have a yard cleanup. And when I gave the address to one of the Rotary members, he said, I know this person. This is my neighbor. And he did not realize that his neighbor needed that assistance. And he said, of course, I'm going to do this now. I had no idea. And now my heart is really in this. I want to help my neighbor. And so it's really amazing to make these connections with different organizations in the area. We have lots of volunteers that love to come in and help. A couple of weeks ago, we had 13 Mormon missionaries show up to clean out a front yard. They filled an entire dumpster with the items that were in one of our clients' front yards. They were laughing, they were singing, they were playing music while they did it. The client was so thankful that they were able to come and help him, and this helped him be able to stay in his home.
And which is so important to get the support of the local churches, be it Catholic, Christian, Mormon. Now, does the Mormon church here out in this area still do the Christmas bags? I know they were doing years. They would do Christmas gift bags for all of the seniors in our program. Do they still do that?
One of the members of the church is doing that still. Adopt a Senior. Yes, and it has become a huge volunteer opportunity. We have about 8 to 12 volunteer groups that have already approached us to get involved for this year. And so members of the community can come help us gather gifts, assemble gifts, and deliver gifts out to seniors. This isn't an income-based program. This is for seniors who are isolated, who really need that connection. It's a caring visit from someone in the community. And I just heard the other day from one of the people who's receiving a gift that they said, this is the only gift I get every year. So I really want to make sure I'm on the list again because I love having that visit. I love when someone from the community remembers me at Christmas time.
And I remember as we were all experiencing those PG&E increases, that one of the requests, and I brought over a ton of electric blankets. Right, because it's a lot more, sustainable on that electric bill when you plug in that electric blanket at night than to keep your whole entire house heated.
Blankets, grippy socks, things like that are just so important for seniors in the winter.
Are there any particular items or things that seniors need that folks should know about to donate to CityServe?
We're always looking for incontinence items.
Okay.
We get a lot of requests for that.
Really?
We do.
People always call me for that. They're like, I have all of these leftovers, and I will usually send them to like the local care homes.
Yeah.
But now that I know that, because I didn't know that you guys would store that stuff.
We do. We have a limited space. We store as much as we can.
So incontinence supplies, you want them all.
Yeah, we do. And it's amazing. As soon as we get a donation, someone will come and say, I need those. So it's really a revolving door. There's a big need in the community.
I had no idea. Yeah. Okay. So I will literally get a van full this month. I mean, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, I hate to take them to the care homes. A lot of the care homes, if they have folks there that are on hospice or palliative services, they get them delivered all day long. So you'll see a lot of the care communities with a whole overflow of stuff. Yeah.
Another item that the seniors are looking for is actually your time. They really could use help getting rides to medical appointments, having someone come visit with them, maybe helping them out in their home or in their yard. Some of them just can't change their light bulbs anymore or take out that garbage can or clean out that closet. And so we're always looking for volunteers to donate their time.
And then so what do volunteers need to go through to volunteer at CityServe?
So we do have a background check. If you're over the age of 18 and you'd like to drive a senior to medical appointments, grocery store, pharmacy, or social service offices, a background check is conducted. We also interview people because we're trusting this person to carry your mom, your auntie, your grandpa in their vehicle. So we want to make sure we know who they are. They have a clean vehicle. They're all licensed. They're all insured, and they're all background checked. We also have caring visitor volunteers that will maybe not drive somebody, but meet somebody, maybe go to a football game together or just watch a game on TV, maybe go for a hike together, meet in the park for lunch.
Now, do they have to be 18 or older? Because I get a lot of young people that will call and say, hey, we want to volunteer. And I'm like, well, I'm not actually an assisted living facility, but I always send them your way. Is there anything that, the high schoolers in this area can do or get involved in?
We have a lot of volunteer opportunities in our office. Anything from arranging our donations to helping serve. On Tuesday, we offer a free community lunch. They can come serve the meal. They can even bring the meal for our clients if they'd like to. They can have their parents help them with that if they don't want to do the cooking themselves. Parents and a child can drive someone together to their medical appointment, or they can visit with the senior together, and they can always volunteer to help a senior in their home.
And even I've seen you guys will have classes, and I don't know if they're friendly visitors, but even in some of the assisted living communities for folks that, maybe they're there and stuck in their apartment. Tell me a little bit about what goes on with that kind of partnership.
We go to every senior living community in South County and East County and Mid County. So everywhere from San Leandro south to Fremont and Pleasanton, Dublin, Livermore, and then Sonolians can come in too. So we actually go out to the seniors and we want to meet them where they're comfortable. They don't need to get transportation to come to our classes. And that helps them build community within their own apartment complex. Many people are meeting their neighbors for the first time when they come to our class. So we bring our health and wellness classes to them.
Oh, good. Yeah, there's such a need for that. And especially to, it's kind of like moving into college all over, right? And you kind of like have to make friends again. And can I sit at that table? I know when I'm touring around with older adults and they're moving into assisted living, they're like, well, is there assigned seating at the dining hall? And I'm like, no, you should. So I will always make sure to connect them with like an ambassador of the particular building or the assisted living community. But back to speaking about isolated seniors, tell me a little bit about how CityServe is reaching out to some of those untapped areas like Sunol.
So next week, on October 9th, we have a Sunol Seniors Fair. We've partnered with Supervisor Halbert's office to bring all of our friends, our service providers, other nonprofits into the area. We're going to be at Casabella from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Anybody can stop by, but it's right in the heart of Sunol. During rush hour, everybody that's driving by on Niles Canyon can stop in too. So we have 20 service providers coming in, letting the community know about their offerings. We'll have everybody from IHSS to care placement as yourself, different government and nonprofit and for-profit, companies will be coming to get them connected to resources that can help them stay in their homes as long as they'd like to stay there.
Yeah, yeah. I know that is the goal for everyone. Absolutely, until you start figuring out, oh my goodness, $45 an hour?
It is. Yeah,
for in-home care.
For in-home care. It adds up really quickly.
Yeah.
So having a caring visitor to come help you out from time to time, having a volunteer help you out from time to time, finding out about these free community resources is really valuable.
Yeah. And I think families don't also understand that most of these care agencies will have a minimum, like a 4-hour minimum. Mm-hmm. And maybe mom only needs help maybe 1 hour in the morning. Mm-hmm. Right. And I'm like always telling these care agencies, why don't you guys have some kind of like share care platform? You're hiring the same demographics of people. Mm-hmm. You're serving the same people in the same radius. Why can't you hire one caregiver to go to this house and go to that house and then come back and then go to that house and go?
You just need to take that over. I think you can just figure it out.
Them, I was like, all the technology and the geolocation, like literally. And here's what they tell me, that they don't want to fight for resources because the good caregivers, if I'm visiting angels in your home care assistance, they don't want to I got Betty and she's the best caregiver. Mm-hmm. So they don't want to share the Bettys of the world. That's true. And I'm like, that is so crazy. It would be so much more affordable for the families.
Right.
But until we can Uberize the care in that aspect, I don't know how.
Yeah, families need to get together with other families in their neighborhood and share their caregivers.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I know. I see that a lot in Rossmore. Mm-hmm. Rossmore is more of a collaborative, and they'll have their own like private Facebook groups. So you will see that sharing of resources at like a Rossmore. And sometimes at, some of the independent living buildings where there's no care built in, I see that happen. Mm-hmm. But there's no way to kind of, so it's unfortunate. And then there's the liability piece, like, right? Nobody wants to say, hey, go ahead and send this covered with, what is it? The workers' comp and all of that.
We're careful about who we recommend. We always background check the companies that we refer people to. We check their licenses. We get referrals. We want to make sure people trust us. So we want to trust the organizations that we refer people to.
Which is so, so very important. And I know, before, you used to be able to have a domestic referral agency in California, but then those were like caregivers that you would find from care.com. So you would have to get the background check. You would have to have workers' comp insurance, liability, and all of that. So I tell families all the time, if you're going to hire on your own, there's a general, go through, there's a company he's an attorney, he's called Legally Nanny. Mm. And he will execute a contract and write it out and make sure, okay, you need to use a Gusto account because you need to pay the state taxes and federal, this is your employee of record in California. You need to get an umbrella policy with your insurance. Here's a workers' comp place, because if she pulls her back in your house, guess what? She can put a lien against your property for be it unpaid wages or getting hurt. Mm-hmm. And what he said was, once you start to tally up, getting that contract done, getting on Gusto, getting the workers' comp, getting the liability, increasing your having an umbrella policy in your house and protecting all of your assets and doing all that, you might as well just pay the extra $20
exactly
an hour.
Yes.
And I'm like, come on. So there is no cheap way around this.
There's no cheap way around it. But if people want some help navigating that, we have a whole list of questions to ask a caregiver. When you hire an IHSS worker, you may not realize you're their boss.
Yes.
Many of these people have never been a manager. Yeah. They've never been a boss. Yeah. They have to conduct an interview.
Yes.
They have to meet with multiple people. Yeah. They have to decide who they want to hire. Yeah. And then they have to be the manager when the IHSS worker 100%. Comes into their home. And then if it doesn't work out, you have to figure out how to fire them. So it's a challenge for many people, and we can walk them through that experience.
Sure. Which is so wild. Anytime I tell families that they're like, okay, we want to explore in-home care. And I'll say, well, here's about 3 good ones, but I also want you to write down mom or dad's care plan. I want you to set the expectation for this care home agency, because I could throw a stick and hit 20. Right? And whoever doesn't work out today, you find someone else tomorrow. But go into that conversation with okay, from 9 to 12, this is what my dad does. From 12 to, weather permitting, I want you to take him for a walk. Like, I want you to be very specific, and you write the care plan and go to these agencies and say, can you meet my expectations? Mm-hmm. If not, I will call the next one.
So a lot of people don't have family to help guide them through that. So that's where we can step in. City Serve can be that person to guide people
which is
along this journey.
So important. And I know City Serve has also dealt with some very complex solo agers, because I know they've kind of brought me into some complex situations. Mm-hmm. And how do you guys collaborate with Adult Protective Services?
So we do have a contract with Adult Protective Services. We get referrals from them. If you or anybody in the community knows of any adult who needs maybe a higher level of care because they can't care for themselves, maybe they're in an abusive relationship, or maybe it's self-neglect, maybe they've lost their jobs or they're injured and they're just letting things go. They might lose their electricity in their home, or they're losing their friendships, or they're turning to substance use, or things are cluttering their home. Maybe it's a hoarding situation. You can call Adult Protective Services and let them know that you're concerned about your neighbor. And then Adult Protective Services in turn will call City Serve and refer those people to us. And we'll go into those homes and we'll help them set goals. We'll help them reach their goals, help them change their lives so they can return to that independent,
but we're talking about
life.
Comprehensive wraparound, all intensive case management services. I forget what the case manager's name is with the long black hair. What's her name?
At City Serve?
Yeah.
Why do I forget? Janessa?
Is it Janessa?
Janessa?
I forget. Maybe it might be Janessa. Anyhow, there was a lady who had major physical limitations. I believe it was Parkinson's or something. Like, she literally could not move. And she was losing all of her physical independence. And she was so mean. But she was also losing her life, and all she had was what would come out of her mouth. Yeah. And your guys' case manager stuck in there with her.
She was amazing. So this is Jamie.
Gosh, Jamie,
our care coordinator.
I would walk out of the house and I'd be like, honey, I would have quit this job 6 months ago if I had to deal with that. But she was
the superstar.
So loving. And she was like, I'm not going to fail you, and I'm going to stick with you this whole journey. I was like,
I know. She was amazing. Yes. She really stuck. And she was able to see through that. This person had a lot of physical difficulties and pain. Yeah. And she was scared. She was scared that her caregivers might be stealing from her. She, in fact, reported to Jamie that at night she heard someone open her bedroom window and come inside, and was sleeping in her bedroom while she was in a hospital bed in the living room. So we had to work with the police department. We had to work with Adult Protective Services. We had to work with an agency like yours where you were able to help her find a different place to live. We had to work with a new caregiving agency. We had to work with the old caregiving agency, with her financial planner, with a fiduciary, with the bank, with the credit cards, with CalPERS. So it was
with trying to get her mobility van going back up, calling AAA. I mean, this was like your emergency call your daughter who is going to come in and rescue the day. And I was like, wow.
Yeah. Wow. Very complex, very time consuming, but with a wonderful ending. She ended up in a place where she's well cared for. Yeah. She's safe and she's protected now.
Right? And for nothing, it's a nonprofit. City Serve is a nonprofit. So on that note, what are some ways besides volunteering that people can give back? My PG&E, my workday people, if you're watching this, what is an ask that City Serve has?
Well, there's lots of different ways to get involved. As you know, since you are one of our board members, we're always looking for really well-accomplished individuals to join our board and bring their expertise. With that, perhaps they can bring their friends with them, connect us to other people in the community who might be interested in donating, and either monthly or every once in a while as they're able to help us continue this work. Without individual donations, this work cannot continue. There's a lot of pressure on nonprofits right now with government funding retracting. And I'm looking at all of the vulnerable people in our community who are going to lose their care coordinators. They're going to lose the drivers that are taking them to their medical appointments. They're going to lose their caring visitors. We run family caregiver support groups as well. Yeah. They'll lose those support groups without the help of individual contributors that are able to donate. So on our website, there's a place where you can go and donate. We have an Amazon wish list as well. Mm-hmm. If you'd like to donate to our homeless services, we're always looking for sleeping bags, tarps, socks, underwear, t-shirts. If you'd like to donate to Adopt a Senior, we have a wish list on our website for gifts that we can share with seniors this year. We love for community members to come in and put on, social events, artistic displays, come teach a painting class, come sing for us, come play the piano, or bring your violin, provide an opportunity for seniors to get connected, get involved, and maybe helping us lead some caregiver support groups. We have so many opportunities for people, and we'll explore their interests with them. One of the things that sets CityServe apart from other organizations in the area is if you work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, we still have a volunteer opportunity for you. And volunteers are really the ones that get to know our clients and can get involved either financially by supporting the organization that's helping clients, but also, they can go, like I mentioned earlier, help a client clean their yard, clean their home, help stabilize their lives.
I had a client that was like, can you help me find someone to bring, people move into these tri-level homes and they're just not equipped to age in place in their master bedroom upstairs. So some of the things that she just needed was like, I just need my bed moved downstairs. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow. Okay.
Well, we just need 4 strong people to show up to do something like that. And you've changed somebody's life by doing this.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And now she can stay in her house and she's not going to, be worried. Yeah. What about the prayer breakfast? That is very unique.
This is very unique for nonprofits. We have a Thanksgiving prayer breakfast, which is modeled after the National Prayer Breakfast. We do it every year. It's a fundraiser for CityServe, but it's also an opportunity to come together, have a really uplifting experience. There's prayer, there's preaching, there's connection. You'll get to hear a lot of fun stories about what CityServe has done in the community and how our donors have helped contribute to that. And so just bring a friend, come join us at the DoubleTree for breakfast. It's always the Monday before Thanksgiving.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So definitely we'll be there. Did we leave out anything?
There's so much to talk about.
I know.
No, I think we're good.
I know. Yeah. All right. Okay. So if you need anything from CityServe, their website is
cityservecares.org.
All right. Thank you so much.